Welcome everyone to This is Jackson. I'm your host, Barry Rosenzweig from the Jackson School District. Well, today, one of my favorite shows of the year, it is giving you, our viewing public, the opportunity to meet the best of the best. The people who work with your children, our students, and love every minute of it and provide every student with the best opportunity to be the best that each can be. Every boy, every girl, every young man, every young woman under our tutelage in our Jackson School District from pre-K to 12 has the opportunity to work with the best teachers ever and the best supportive staff as well. And today we are going to feature our educational service professionals from both our middle schools and high schools right here in the Jackson School District. So here we are on This is Jackson. Let me introduce you to the people that are with us today from middle and high school. Those people who were chosen by their own colleagues. No administrator votes on this. It is strictly the people within the building who work with our teachers and educational service professionals who have earned the Teacher of the Year, I should say Educational Service Professional of the Year award for our 2017-2018 school year. So here we go. To my left, we have Nick Farrar, a personal para right at the Getz Middle School. Congratulations, Nick.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Rosenzweig.
This is great and just wonderful to see you again. We'll talk about Nick and me. We have a connection well beyond just being on this TV show today. So Nick Farrar, Getz Middle School,
yes,
Educational Service Professional of the Year. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Just terrific. And we'll come back to you. And to my right, we have the Educational Service Professional of the Year from the Jackson Liberty High School, and it is Laurie Matassa. And Laurie, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
Media Specialist. I love it. The Librarian.
I'll go by either title.
You know, I still find it difficult to, I know it's Media Specialist, but I still love the word librarian. I just love that.
Thank you.
And I love it because, you know, in the musical, the Music Man, of course, the musical person, Professor Harold Hill, falls in love with the librarian of the city right there, Miss Marion, the librarian. So we're going to change your name. It's Marion Matassa.
Okay.
How's that for the
That
day?
works. Yep.
But it is wonderful, Laurie, and congratulations to you as
Thank
well
you.
for Liberty High School. Now, we do have two other schools. We certainly have the McCullough Middle School as well as the Getz Middle School, and their Educational Service Professional of the Year was Wendy, or is Laurie, it's Wendy Hilly, and she is a guidance counselor at the McCullough Middle School. She was not able to be with us today, but we will share with you a little bit about her and her professional career and some of her wonderful parts of her life as well. And we do have the Jackson Memorial High School, and Joseph Lemke is a personal para at the Jackson Memorial High School, and he couldn't make it today as well. So we wish him well. He wasn't feeling well, by the way, and he couldn't just be with us. And Wendy had some commitments as well. So we'll get to know a little bit about Joseph Lemke as well today. So first, let's begin, and let me start to my right. I'm going to start with the high school first, okay? So Laurie Matassa.
Yes.
media specialist, Jackson Liberty High School. The first thing I have to ask you is,
Sure.
what did you feel when it was announced? And how was it announced that you were Educational Service Professional of the Year?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. It was during homeroom, and most of the students, I did have a few in during homeroom printing things out, and they had gone back to class, and I was pretty much what I do every day, crawling on the floor, fixing a wire to get ready for a class that was coming in. So nobody was around I kind of like stood up and looked around. I'm like, nobody's around right now. But then they came in after the announcement. So it was definitely a shock and an honor.
Wow. And to be chosen by your fellow educators, the fellow workers within the building itself, they are the people that chose you.
It's one of my favorite aspects of the job is collaborating with the other staff members, so it's truly an honor.
Well, and everybody at some point, every single teacher in every discipline does come to you in the library because of your amount of the materials that you have available to them. And you can assist any particular discipline. So,
thank you.
Wow, congratulations. Nobody to share it with, nobody, all alone. Remember there was many, many years ago, there was an old joke or an old, I can't remember it now, phrase like, all alone by the telephone. And it was an old song from like the 20s or even earlier than that, the 1920s or whatever. And it just reminded me, there you are, you get this great announcement, Educational Service Professional of the Year, Laurie Matassa. And nobody's there. It's quiet. Nobody to shout and yell, yay, Miss Matassa, wonderful. Boy,
It's
oh
okay.
boy.
I got lots of cheers throughout the day and
Good.
this week as well.
Okay, I'm thrilled for you, but that was just, that made me feel badly. All alone by the telephone. And Nick Farrar.
Yes.
You are Educational Service Professional of the Year for Getz Middle School. How wonderful. And how did you feel and where were you and when was it that you got the announcement of your becoming Professional of the Year?
Well, I remember coming back from lunch and our principal, Mr. Perino, he had called me in and he said, just want to let you know, it was unanimous throughout the staff and we are very excited to announce as being the ESPY Award winner.
ESPY Awards. I love it.
And
that's good, the ESPY Awards.
Without a doubt, it's such an honor to be really recognized by your peers and those who you work with every single day. And without a doubt, that team that we have over at Getz, it's really something special. So I'm just one part of the puzzle.
Well, and it's wonderful that being a part of that puzzle is so global. You know, it makes you, I mean, you're doing the job within your buildings, the job you're hired for, and the job you obviously do so beautifully and so professionally. But you know that you are part of a larger assemblage, and that is the entire Jackson School District. And parents, I'm speaking directly to you now, our beautiful viewing audience right here in Jackson, within the Jackson School District. These are the people that work with your child and make your life a lot easier because they work with your child to be the best that he or she can be. And to that end, every day is what you do. And I love it. Now, Laurie, before we actually share about your missing partner over there, Joseph, and your missing partner, Wendy, over there, so we'll share about them too. Tell us about yourself, your background, if you will, your educational background, and and even with that, what made you go into education? Why into education? So.
Going into education for me was a natural progression. As a child, I was the neighborhood babysitter. I always took care of everybody else's kids. So I knew I wanted to go into the field of education from early on. I just didn't know exactly what area that I wanted to be in. So prior to coming to Jackson Liberty, I've worked with students from 2nd grade all the way to college. And
wow.
I've been here at Jackson Liberty since it opened in 2006, and this building is like my second home, and the people in it are like my second family. And
sure.
It's, if you asked me, I probably wouldn't tell you high school is where I wanted to be, but it's where I'm meant to be. I don't really know how else to explain that.
Well, no, that's beautifully explained. So you have certification as a media specialist, which I know is special. I mean, you have to have a special certification for that.
Right.
But you alluded to the fact that you have worked with children from 2nd grade all the way to college. So tell us about where that fits in your educational puzzle.
Sure. I started out as an elementary education student, and I student taught in an elementary school. And when I completed my education, I actually worked at Brookdale Community College at the college library.
Oh, okay.
It's called Make Your Library, which I still adjunct to this day in the evening. And I've completed my master's at Rutgers for library science, and that's K to 12. So. And
there is a connection between Brookdale and Rutgers. They have a connection with that. Was that did you work that while you were there?
The university did not start at that point.
Oh, it wasn't then, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know today Brookdale is definitely connected with Rutgers. And they work side by side, sending students, once they graduate Brookdale, into the 4-year program to finish up a 4-year program at Rutgers.
Yes, there is a partnership, yes.
The partnership, thank you. That was the better term.
That's okay.
I couldn't think of it. Here I am on camera and I couldn't think of that word. Thank you. See, you're a great helper. But so you were involved with elementary, and you have your credentials as a regular teacher elementary school as well.
Yes.
And then you also work at Brookdale besides, still.
Yes, and I think it's important for our students here at Liberty to, it's important for me, and I hope it benefits them that I'm still tied to the higher level. I hope it helps them when they move on to the next step, whatever that is, job, college, so that I can kind of give them a little heads up about what to expect next.
Excellent. Yeah, that's firsthand experience for sure. Wow, well, thank you. How wonderful. And Nick Farrar, personal para, would you share with us about yourself and, how you, first of all, how did you come into schools and want to be an educator, and about your educational background as well, and some of the other things you might do with your life besides just teaching in the classroom or working as a para in the classroom?
Without a doubt, I've been born and raised in Jackson, 26 years.
Yeah.
Only recently been transplanted, but without a doubt, Jackson is in my heart, where I'm from. So very excited to be a part of the schools that I went to. I went to Johnson, Getz, and Jackson Memorial. So about 5 years ago was my first year working in the district, and that was at Memorial High School. And for the last five school years, I've been at Getz Middle School, and been assisting with a couple of athletics over there, field hockey, wrestling, and really try to get my influence of health and phys ed into whatever part of the school that I'm working with at that time, whether it's out on the fields, on the wrestling mats, or in the classroom.
Now, so that brings my next question then. Your certification, you have certification as a physical education professional.
Yes. Yeah, I studied at Montclair State and graduated from there.
Wow.
But I'm very lucky to be in special education right now.
Wonderful. That's beautiful. And of course, are you working with one particular student at this moment? One
particular student, but with the team aspect that we have in our classroom, we're very hands-on with multiple students, multiple situations, So it's very comfortable, and it's without a doubt a team atmosphere.
Excellent. So you are very flexible in what you do within the class.
Have to be. If you weren't, you wouldn't be here.
Would you second that motion, Laurie?
Every day is different.
Absolutely.
Folks, when you're with educators, and when you've been an educator for actually my whole adult life, and you guys too, you know, been educators in your whole adult life, you have a middle name. And your middle name is flexible, because if you're not, you don't make it. You just can't withstand the amount of work and the pressure and the changes that can come within a moment in any given day. And I'm just glad to hear that, because it makes me smile, because we've all been through that. You can plan all you want. And just as Steinbeck said in Of Mice and Men, you know, you can do all the planning you want, but it just may never happen. So
when the rubber meets the road.
Exactly. It just, whatever it is, you do it to get the job done. Now, you mentioned about different sports. Did you play all those sports? Were you involved in when you were in school?
Yes, yep, throughout the high school. I was a part of the soccer, wrestling, and ended up playing lacrosse while I was at Memorial.
Now, with lacrosse, you are a coach somewhere else, not
at Ocean County College.
At OCC. So we have our college connection.
Absolutely.
With you, Nick, and with Laurie as well. And do you find that too, as with Laurie, she can transfer those skills even within the classroom at the level she's working? And how about you?
Oh, absolutely. And we're always, our goal is to get kids from high school into colleges, and because OCC is a junior college, we try to get those kids directly into a four-year school. Wonderful. So we're constantly trying to improve their education and then just set them up for the future.
And Laurie, your connection at Brookdale is with Rutgers.
I graduated from Rutgers with my master's.
Right.
So I work in the actual Make-Your Library at Brookdale.
So you're working there at Brookdale, and now they have that partnership with Rutgers.
They have a university, that is a partnership.
Right. And with Nick, OCC, under Dr. Larson, who's been there for, I don't even know, I mean, 25 years or more.
Yep.
But Dr. Larson, who runs an incredibly great school as well, and Brookdale I love, because I do a lot of volunteer work at the school there in the World War II Center. But you're associated and partnered with in Union. It's
Kane University.
That's
yep.
it. Kane University in Union. So you have a connection as well with a four-year school to even get the students that you work with in your coaching there to get to go to a four-year situation.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of, actually, education. Kane has a very good health and phys ed program. So there are student athletes who continue to go to the Kane programs while they're still living at home. So it's an excellent opportunity to save money, but then still get the highest level of education, all within your backyard.
Right, and I believe it's the same at Brookdale.
There are a number of branch campuses that you can take courses that are closer than going all the way up to New Brunswick or Camden.
It's wonderful. So you guys, both of you, Nick at Getz, Nick Farrar, and Laurie Matassa at Jackson Liberty, you are really so well-rounded. You work from elementary right through college. You can really have those skills and experiences to share with your students to help them in any way you need to. How wonderful.
When you're that invested, you put yourself in positions where you can only better others around you.
Yeah. Now I'm going to take a moment, if I may, everyone. We have two people missing. So we have Nick from Getz, and we have from McCullough Middle School, Wendy Hilly. Now, Wendy is a guidance counselor at the Krista McCullough Middle School, and she is their Educational Service Professional of the Year. And I need to share with you just a little bit about Wendy. She unfortunately was just not able to be with us today. So here I go. Wendy Hilly from the McCullough Middle School. She attended the College of New Jersey for her teaching degree and master's as well in counseling. She's been in the district for 28 awesome years. I'm reading right from her words, which she sent over to us. I started as a teacher at the Holman Elementary for 6 years and then transferred over to McCullough, where she taught every academic subject. After 12 years of teaching, she became a guidance counselor at the same building, the McCullough Middle School. She loves the middle school and the ages that she services. This year, she is focusing on the individual student and helping them to learn social skills which are somewhat lacking in our tech-savvy world. Oh boy, we could do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy. You ever walk in a room with a bunch of young teenagers and everybody's like this? Nobody looks at anybody else. Nobody talks, just on their phone or iPad or whatever it might be. So yeah, they're tech savvy, but isn't that terrific? Working on their social skills in this somewhat, which are somewhat lacking in our tech savvy world. Anyway, back now to Wendy Hilly. She has an awesome husband and a 16-year-old daughter. She loves animals, and she spent a summer in Africa, during which time she was involved in the census for the mountain gorillas of Uganda. Wow. I am still involved privately in conservation of the gorillas. Wasn't there that wonderful woman?
Jane
Goodall?
Goodall?
Jane Goodall.
Our own Jane Goodall.
Yeah, and we have a Jane Goodall right here. We have a Goodall family of teachers here that are several Goodalls and wonderful teachers in our school district. But Jane Goodall, right, she spent her whole life working with the gorillas and learning about their lives and so on. Well, this is wonderful. Wendy Hilly, thank you for doing that. So you now know a little bit about Wendy Hilly from the McCullough Middle School, and she is a guidance counselor. Now, on the high school side over here, with Laurie Matassa from Liberty, we have Joseph Lemke, a personal para at the Memorial Middle School. So we couldn't get a hold of him because he actually was ill today and is at a doctor for a very, very difficult ear infection. We were commiserating about that before the show, that it's so painful. But here we go, a little bit from a person who knows him, who has worked with him for a long time. He is an honorable person. We're talking about Joseph Lemke right now, the Educational Service Professional of the Year for Memorial High School. He's honorable, loyal, he is a responsible person, and he runs the crew at Spring Lake for the past, and there are 18 people on that crew. So he runs the summer crew at Spring Lake each summer. He runs the lifeguard for the town, for the tournaments. He runs lifeguard tournaments for Spring Lake as well. So he's involved with the lifeguards in that town, all 18 of them. He's respected by others. Oh boy, you're going to have to help me here. Laurie, this is our wonderful JTV director, Ethan Noble's handwriting, and let me see if we can do this. He's respected by other towns due to
his stellar work ethic.
His stellar work ethic. Ah, excellent. Thank you so much. See, she does do everything.
You know, Barry, I figured I'd squeeze in and be able to read my own handwriting.
Oh,
and
Mr.
I just
Noble.
want to say, all
Yes,
of this
sir.
information, unfortunately, he had a doctor's appointment he got called out to at an ear infection, so
Yes.
he couldn't make it today. But the wonderful Miss Janet Carbon, who retired from Memorial last year,
okay.
works with him all the time, and she had some inside information on him. So I scribbled this down quickly. This is real shorthand. I don't know if you know how to read real shorthand.
I don't, obviously.
I'm kidding, it's absolutely not. But no, she raved about him. He's amazing. But yeah, he runs the tournaments, the lifeguard tournaments in all the towns, like around the coast. He runs them with all the different towns competing against each other. Spring Lake is where he's normally a lifeguard, but he's a fantastic person. They love him in the town. They love him in other towns. He's well respected. Great work ethic. Very loyal. She said. Great person to be around. He's been here in Jackson about 4 to 5 years.
Yes.
And he's also involved with the wrestling program here in Jackson and outside the town. And he also works with the special ed department on stuff. So she couldn't say enough amazing things about him. So.
Wow.
So I figured I'd decipher there.
You know what? I really appreciate
My
this.
pleasure.
Thank you so much, Ethan. That was Ethan Noble, who is the director of JT right here in our own Jackson School District. And you see, Joseph Lemke has certainly earned his way to being Educational Service Professional of the Year. And I like the fact also, just like with you, Nick, he's involved with sports as well, and he does wrestling, I guess, for Memorial.
Yes, yeah, at the high school level.
Right, right. So you're doing wrestling for Getz,
Getz Middle School, yeah.
and also soccer for Getz,
Field hockey, field hockey.
field hockey for Getz, and so on. So you're also quite sports minded. And the only thing we don't know about Joseph is if he has his degree and certification as a physical education teacher. What do they call that now today?
I think it's the Health and Phys Ed certification.
Health and Phys Ed, thank you. You're bringing me right up to date. Health and Phys Ed is what you have, and media specialist for Laurie. How wonderful. So we really have been today just honoring all of our educational specialists, educational service professionals for middle school and high school. And once again, we have Nick Farrar with us from the Getz Middle School, personal para. And of course, we didn't get to meet, but we learned about Wendy Hilly, who is a guidance counselor at McCullough. And to my right, we have certainly had the wonderful opportunity to meet and share her ideas about her work and her background as well with Laurie Matassa, who is media specialist right here at Jackson Liberty. Of course, we're in the media. We're in the TV studio of Liberty High School. And missing today was Joseph Lemke, personal para from Jackson Memorial High School. One last thing, because we have to go. Could you share with me one special thought about you're coming in here every day to work, you're coming into Liberty. Nick, you're coming in to Getz. You come in every single day. When you come in, what do you feel every morning when you're here, starting another day of your wonderful career?
That's tough. I guess supported. I feel like I'm part of a tribe of other educators, so I don't feel in isolation. So I feel like I'm in a community of educators.
In the community. It takes a village to raise a child, and you're part of that educational village right here at Liberty. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And what about you, Nick? What do you feel when you come in? Other than, I need that cup of coffee. But I mean, other than, no, I'm just kidding with you. But, you know, what do you feel every day when you come in here and you've chosen this as your profession to be an educator?
To be honest, I love walking into that 112 room at Getz, because every day it's a new day, and to everything that goes on in the world and stuff that we don't really have control over, it's awesome being able to go into that room, because you know what you're getting every day. You know that you're going to have 5 excellent support staff with you, and you're going to have 10, 15 kids who are just ready to get after it. And it's a beautiful thing when you can start at 7:55 just like that.
Right. Isn't that great? I love it. And what is your favorite feeling that you get from working with them? Just your favorite feeling? Right off the top.
I love when they have that feeling of accomplishment. when something was not easy, and they work through it. They work hard, and I'll be right alongside them that whole way.
Wow, when they've got it, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
What makes you scream out, even though you may not yell in the classroom, yes, I love this?
Well, for me, there's numerous things that make me happy. One, when they come in and they say they just loved a book they read, then when they're returning it and they're like, I just loved it. Or when they are struggling with, I love educational technology and everything that has to go with it. And sometimes our students get stuck on aspects. So when I see things come together for them that they utilized, it makes me, feel like, all right, this is why I spend all of that time preparing that, because they got it.
Yeah. See, both of you come to the same conclusion. When a student gets it, it's the best, because that's what we're here for. Ladies and gentlemen, you have met Nick Farrar and Laurie, yeah, right, Laurie, what happened there? Laurie Matassa. It's just what you met Laurie Matassa and Nick Farrar right here today. Educational Service Professionals of the Year. And take care, everyone. You've been watching This is Jackson, and be well. We'll hope to see you next time on This is Jackson. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.